You know what I feel like? I feel like indie music isn't so much a genre. I think indie music is just like your music is too shitty to be called alternative rock. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The World According to Kyle and
Daniel.
podcast. How's it going, everybody? I decided to bring back former guest of mine. Your last podcast was TWA2K9. Am I right?
Yeah, it's good to be back, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming by. It's always nice to have someone in the house to slap my ideas around to and see what you're thinking and what you're coming up with.
Yep, it's always good to have a good friend around.
I remember last time we were talking about the Tims and the
Tim Biebs, yeah.
The Tim Biebs came out.
Yeah, and the Travis Scott concert.
Well, lucky for you, we last TWA2K I did was like about 2 hours before the apparently life-changing, world-changing slap that has been heard around the world.
Tell me about it, man.
So I mean that is what that is. I was initially considering like having a take before I released the pod on Monday, and just to have something where I would have talked about the slap.
Yeah.
But I decided to wait until the next show, and then you messaged me, and I asked you if you wanted to come on, and you were available to come on. So
It's really nice to be here talking with you, Kyle. We're going to get over a lot of shit, and just can't wait.
yeah,
It's awesome.
And so when did you first hear about the slap? What was
It was on my way to work in the morning because I didn't hear about it till after I woke up, got in the car, and they were talking about it because I do listen to a podcast myself. And yeah, that's the first thing they started talking about. I was wondering what the hell Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith, but
I mean, it was. I kind of wanted to chill on it too. Like, I think it's like I don't want to come out with some reactionary thing. I like to think about why I'm talking about what I'm talking about, and to try and really get my take solidified before. I don't want to end up like one of these people where they're ratioing. That's the new thing online, is like you don't want to get ratioed online.
Okay.
So do you know like what? So getting ratioed is on Twitter, where you will have like more comments than likes. So if you have more comments than likes on your shit, it means a lot of people are saying, "Hey, what the fuck are you talking about, you clown?" Like,
yeah, they're just giving their opinion more than they even care about what you said.
So I think it's best to kind of lay back on these things, and I wanted to fully think through how I felt. Now, I feel like the first thing that is necessary to bring up in this situation is that I think Chris Rock handled himself about as good as you could have handled yourself in this situation. I mean,
Maybe a little embarrassed.
what do you mean?
Like, he just got slapped.
Okay,
on my
yeah.
television in front of
Yeah.
the whole world, basically the whole world. 'Cause there's billions of
Exactly.
people.
I mean, considering the situation that he's in, how he could have handled it. That, I mean, Will Smith is a bigger guy. He's, and Chris Rock kind of, you've seen that moment after. He's like, "Oh, I could say something right now," but I mean, this is something that's not supposed to happen, at the Academy Awards. It's supposed to be,
Professional.
yeah, exactly, right? So, I think about, like, I want to give credit to him besides, like, getting in the moment. I think he, like, handled it about as well as you could possibly handle that. I mean, he even went like I would be like, really in some sort of like, I know the state of rage he was in when like, Will Smith went and like turned around. Like, if that was me, I don't know if like one of those Oscars is not lodged into fucking his head after after he turns his back. Like what was one of those Oscars like around? Was one of those Oscars really close? Like I don't know if they're not still prying that shit out of his empty fucking head right now. So there's that, like the fact that he restrained himself and the fact that he could have. Like the way
it could have escalated.
The way comedians' minds work. Like when Chris Rock was like, "Oh, I could say something." Like the thing that was really offensive to me about the situation was that was a nothing joke. Like
it was a nothing joke.
That was absolutely dick shit.
It was kind of an overreaction on Will Smith's part.
I mean, that was like, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, "Oh, if that was my girlfriend," and he said, but I mean, this is a show where you're watching a stand-up comedian. He's paid to professionally put on a show, and the understanding is that you make fun of people who are in the audience, and that's kind of how the thing works, and that's kind of how the thing goes along. So, I mean, of the things he could have said, I think that was pretty toned down, and that was like pretty, like, you can't expect a Chris Rock. Oh yeah, I was like scrolling through Jada Pinkett Smith's Instagram, and she said she had this aprophagia fucking thing, and I could not joke about that. Like, I mean, you think Chris Rock is going around and fucking scrolling through Jada Pinkett Smith's Instagram before the show to figure out what he can and can't joke about? I mean, you don't know. To Chris Rock's mind, the way it works is like, to find like the most like offensive shit to say about, and that's kind of what like the Grammys were like. He's a good comedian. He's good at what he do.
Yes.
And if you're bringing Chris Rock to host to your show, that's what you're getting. You're gonna get pissed off at the things he's saying because he's fucking real, like,
and that's like what comedians do.
And that's the thing where like that was the most toned down shit he could have possibly said. I couldn't think of anything like less worse to say, or like think about anything lighter to say about Jada Pinkett Smith than that. And so a lot of people like that I seen on the internet, they're acting like somebody went up to their girlfriend and said this. Well, that's different. Like, I mean, like the world. That, I mean, okay, if somebody just randomly on the street goes up to your girlfriend and, hey, she looks like G.I. Jane 2 or something, that's different because you're not hiring. It's not a performance. Like, people just don't go up and say this shit to other people in real life. The part of it is the performative aspect of it, is that you're not it's something you don't do in real life, and that's part of what comedy is about. And for me, Will Smith smacking him is a bad moment, like, and why I think people are reacting to it so much is because it's one of these moments that kind of points to like what's going on with our culture at the time, with what's going on with people who feel like they're not supposed to say certain things, or us wanting to water down comedy and make it just very boring and very unoffensive to people. It was kind of just one of those moments where it was just such a perfect storm, and I can understand people's weird people thinking it's such an important thing, and
people think it's gold
and an important reaction. It's meme gold. I mean, I remember Like, I think that, like, the memes alone got me through the first 3 days of my work week. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it happened, because it was just like you couldn't get away from this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird because what people are remembering in the memes, what people will remember about it, mm-hmm. and what actually happened is different. Like you go and you see the memes and it's like Will Smith smacking something, and the something that he's smacking is like the thing that, get the fuck out of here thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, really the real story is that Will Smith was was way out of line. Chris Rock held himself like a champ. So in reality, it's almost like the reverse, right?
People are saying he had a different mindset after he looked at his wife because she looked mad.
Yes.
And then he reacted to that. He didn't seem upset about it the moment he said it. He was laughing. If you saw the video's up there. But if you see the video, he's not. He was laughing at first.
So a lot of people are saying it was set up, and I'm just like, who really cares if it's set up or not? A lot of things could be conspiracies, mm-hmm. but until we have firm evidence that they are conspiracies, I'm not going to treat them as if they are.
Okay.
So there was that one shot that you seen, the one still frame that they had where Chris Rock was kind of laughing. Mm-hmm. But I would be laughing if I was getting smacked by Will Smith. Like, how funny is that? It's like, seriously, this motherfucker slapping me over a G.I. Jane joke?
And then, he's swearing on live TV.
And then, too. Like, that is like the one thing. Like, how can you say if like Will Smith was mad? I have not seen Will Smith act that angry in all his career. Will Smith was never that angry in any fucking movie.
Yeah, it was different. Definitely different.
And he was steamed off because his wife was steamed off because Chris Rock should have known exactly what she was going through. You know what? If you're that fucking sensitive, then you shouldn't be going out in public and watching somebody that could perhaps be making fun of you at the Oscars if you're that goddamn sensitive. About it. So, so the thing is, like, I think it sheds light on an unseen, an untalked about. I'm saying the quiet part out loud type of deal, where that I think it sheds a light on these hyper liberal relationships. Like Jada and Will Smith were in a quote unquote open relationship, and so basically an open relationship is anybody gets to fuck anybody they want.
It's the whole pass.
So I think like it's kind of weird. I mean, if you're presenting yourself as this super liberal tolerant couple, and this isn't the only thing they're liberal with. You can see they basically have their children raise themselves. Like their children are very like the daughter was actually like photographed like sleeping in her underwear with like an overaged man, but their parents thought it was cool. They're super liberal parents where they can have their underage daughter with a man in their underwear in the bed watching a movie. Okay. And then the guy Jaden Smith or whatever, he is just like this kid has never been told he was wrong in his life. Like the type of shit that's going on his Twitter that he's like talking about is like you're literally like that's like the backwards of reality. Like
still a kid.
So I feel like it's kind of I think it like open relationships like are harmful for men's mental health because a woman can get whatever sex she wants whenever she wants. She's a woman. Dudes are always looking to smush. I mean, like that's that's guaranteed, right? So I mean, no matter like, women have the advantage in sex. Women have the sexual advantage over any woman has a sexual advantage over any man because the vag don't stop. Like, they don't need to take a break. So that's just an evolutionary advantage that women have over men. So I mean, so to there's and I think that Will Smith was somewhat emasculated by Jada Pinkett Smith, and that like she didn't mind talking about sleeping with or having sex with other people, and they're just like, no, we're a cool family. That's just what we do, and I feel like because
I mean, nobody's perfect.
I know, and I'm not saying there's some situations where this wouldn't work out, where they could do, or that could work out, and this could happen, and it would be perfectly fine. Yeah. But I mean, I think like I think that was the reason why he had this sort of reaction, because he felt like he was emasculated, and what he wanted to do was that he wanted to hit her, but he hit someone else who was making fun of her. Okay. Now that seems kind of whoa, like, why would he do that? But I've been in that situation before. I've been in a situation where I've had a girlfriend who wasn't treating me particularly well, and then someone kind of offends her, and then you're getting violent because at the guy, but you really want to get violent at her, and so you overcompensate and try and get her to like you more because you're being an aggressive macho idiot male.
Yes, but use your words carefully.
It was really her.
I've learned that in life.
It was really her that kind of like you're upset at her and you want to prove yourself for her, but you shouldn't have to. You should not have to prove yourself for a woman. What you are should be good enough for them. And so that's kind of...
If you're already together, you both should understand each other.
Yeah, I know. But it doesn't mean that one person can't take advantage of another person in a particular situation.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So it's kind of weird. I don't think there's very much sense in saying it was staged. And Jim Carrey brought up the fact that we aren't the cool kids anymore,
and he would sue it if it was him,
as in saying that like Hollywood. I thought Chris Rock handled it as good as you can, and I don't think he should have
been worse.
I don't think he should have sued. Worse. People look at him like, if he would have sued, it would have kind of seemed like he was being a child about it. I think it's an open hand slap, and it's from Will Smith. It's not like it's from The Rock or anything.
He was waiting for it. He even leaned forward and he wanted him to slap him.
And that was hard as fuck, bro. Like, that was like, I thought like, if it was hard. If it was an act, man, he really leaned into that, man. And like,
it's like he saw it coming.
And like, Chris Rock's just like, man, I know what's happening right now.
I just got slapped by Will Smith.
What the fuck am I gonna do? So, kudos to Chris Rock. Fuck you, Will Smith.
And to be swearing like that, like, come on, Will.
Okay,
I think you were a better actor.
Here's another thing about Will Smith. Do you know? Here, I'm gonna give you 2 movie roles that Will Smith turned down that you're just gonna be like, what the fuck were you thinking, bro? Okay, so Will Smith turned down Django Unchained. The Jamie Foxx, Quentin Tarantino one.
Oh, yes.
This other one I'm going to fucking say to you is going to blow your mind. Do you know what that was an awful turn down. Do you know what fucking movie he turned down that like would have like maybe changed his entire career?
No, I don't. No.
He turned down the role of Neo in The Matrix.
Wow.
Yes.
I can't see Will Smith
and
being...
And you know who's going to be Morpheus? Do you know who's going to be Morpheus?
Same guy?
No. If Will Smith was the lead actor in Matrix,
I can't see Will Smith.
Morpheus would have been Val Kilmer.
Really?
Yes.
Val Kilmer?
So
I can't see that.
It would have totally changed the dynamics of like everything about The Matrix, and I'm so glad that he turned it down. So Will Smith is one of those stars where it's like, yeah, you know, I like The Pursuit of Happiness. That was a good movie. I loved him in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh yeah, it's classic.
One of my favorite movies that he did was The Enemy of the State with with Gene Hackman.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Men in Black was more of a kids movie. That was good, but I mean, you know, Will Smith by and large, he's very replaceable. Like I could you could replace him with a lot of other actors, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, you know, it's still pretty much the same movie. Like he ain't no Denzel. Like he couldn't do fucking like Training Day. Like he couldn't do John Q or something.
He did Hancock.
Or
Call
me
some
an
of
asshole.
this shit one more time.
Or some of this shit that like he couldn't do some of this shit that Denzel is doing. This super like or this super smart like character. He's just a good like generic lead action character. And so you know what, that's fine. But I mean, right now his ego's kind of has gotten too far away from him. Yeah. And that's not good. Now the last thing I'll say about this, and before we can move on and fucking talk about this for holy shit 20 minutes
that's
already.
That's fine, man. We had to cover that.
We have to cover all grounds. Yeah. We have to cover all grounds.
And this is gold.
So the last thing we'll say about this is so Hollywood, don't slap people. Also Hollywood,
love people.
Saw, Hostel, Terrifier, people getting sawn in half. So take the message with the fucking grain of salt. That's all I'm really saying. All right, we had to get that out of the way. That was like that was the big topic, and
it's still the big topic.
It is. I mean, we're still seeing memes until the next viral sensation happens. So it's nice to get our points across and get our feelings about it. This is good because I was able to kind of map out everything to talk about. If I feel like if I would have brought it up before, it would have been a little rushed and it would have been a little reactive. We're going to be a podcast that's above reactive takes. We're not that kind of pod. We're not.
No, we're not. Sorry about that.
So cheers. We're drinking a little bit. Now normally I tell the Americans that they don't know anything about good beer, and this is where I say which kind of good beer I'm happening. But I happen to be drinking an American beer, so
I'm drinking Canadian.
So I can't really say that. I'm drinking a Bud Light.
I'm drinking a Canadian Alexander.
You are drinking the Keith's Pale Ale from the great lands of Nova Scotia. The Scotia.
Yeah.
The Scotia. So
very good.
We're just relaxing.
We're not sponsoring or anything.
But we're open to sponsor.
We're open to sponsor.
But we're just relaxing after a nice hard work week. Having a few wobbly pops after a tough week of work, and getting ready for the next week ahead. Now there's a topic that I've been wanting to bring up on the past couple episodes, but we kind of got caught up in some other things. Now, I wanted to talk about. First, let me ask you before we get into this is so there were a few. I think they're going to phase out the daylight savings time adjustment in the United States. Now,
what do you mean phase out?
So you know how we have to alter our clocks?
Every
spring forward, fall backwards. Now, so the United States decided that I think I don't know whether this was on a. I think it would have to be on a federal level. So I think it's on the entire United States are having a permanent daylight savings time, where they're not going to have an adjustment.
Why? We have seasons for that.
Okay, and that was my issue too. I feel like we are in the minority on this category. Like most of the people that I've talked to and that I've seen online, like a lot of the people who were online were happy that that they were having a permanent daylight saving. So they had it so that when fall when it's backwards, they're gonna make that permanent.
And then spring when
it's just gonna be the same.
It's just gonna be the same. Why don't that doesn't make sense because the weather changes and.
Exactly. Right? The weather and so you have less daylight. You want to have
they're
less...
going to keep that...
This is where I'm at. See, this is where I'm at with it, too. And my thing is, I don't know why people make such a big deal of having to set their clock... you have to wake up... Well, one time you get an hour back, and then the next time you get... you have to give up an hour.
Don't we hate that?
Is that really that bad?
People say it affects their sleep. It's an hour sleep.
I'm not...
You get used to it in 2 days.
If you can't wake up an hour, give or take an hour from your sleep, are you on that sort of a rigid schedule that 1 hour is going to be make or break for your week?
You can't go to work because you didn't sleep that hour.
You know what?
It's kind of a pathetic.
Hey, you know what? Take the day. If it affects you that much, take the goddamn next day off. Don't is daylight.
I'm sorry, I gotta take the day off.
Is daylight savings long enough? Daylight saving fuck with me, bro. Yo, the hour. Yeah, because you live such an important life that you cannot. God
forbid you don't sleep long enough.
That hour fucking broke you, bro. So that's.
I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be working then.
Exactly.
You can't get used to this Canadian or American.
Just take the day off. Take the day off. And Canada are. It's not. You have more southern states in America, I guess, but in Canada, we need to get every bit of that fucking daylight, and it's mostly done for the farmers, anyways, right? So that the farmers wouldn't have to, are used to waking up early and have to do their plants and stuff, so they wouldn't have to, go to bed at 5 p.m. because they're waking up and doing their work at the crack of dawn and getting the most possible work they can do when the soil is nice and soft. I just don't get it. I think it's really petty.
It's kind of irrelevant.
Petty thing to complain about, right?
It's nothing. It's 1 hour.
Yeah,
you don't need it.
And it's better off doing it this way than fucking over so if you're on afternoons or midnights and it really sucks, and if you're working during the day then it's okay. But I just think the adjustment really works out perfectly. It balances things in the best possible way to have the most possible daylight. The most possible daylight for what you're for whatever season that you're in. In Canada, there actually are all 4 seasons.
And if that is a problem for you guys, then you just go in late. If you need that extra hour, just stay in bed and go.
Take the day off.
Or to take the day off.
It's mental health day because we had the time change and my precious circadian rhythms
couldn't. Your beauty sleep wasn't long enough. I'm sorry, but I couldn't work on 5 hours, let alone 8.
There was there was this one video clip I seen online where it was a dog, and the dog was used to getting walked at this certain time, but the dog didn't realize that it was daylight savings time. Right?
Oh, okay, so he wanted to leave and it wasn't time.
So he's like, let's go, and there's the family's like, no, it's daylight savings, and the dog was just pouty and I was like, okay, that dog has an actual point, but any other person with an actual prefrontal cortex that is that can think is if it's really that big of an issue, then just call in sick the next day.
You don't need to go to work.
Don't be grumpy. Don't rush to work and fucking
mopiness. And they don't need you there if you're gonna complain.
Don't nearly hit me on your way to work. And by the way, I almost got hit by 2 cars who straight up just did not feel like stopping while I was walking during.
That's something I noticed in Ontario. People don't stop.
So where we're at right now, I will say what they. I won't say exactly where we are because screw the people who are gonna stalk me. So where we're at right now, they have these kind of tucked in walking lanes where the car where the car can't really see you until they're close to you. Like the lanes are tucked in by like 10 yards or something, and like you can't see it until you don't really see it until you're on your turn, or it's hard to see like where pedestrians are going until it's on your turn. That's stupid. It should be flushed right with the edge of the road, or as close to the edge of the road as possible, so that drivers have a more narrow range of what they want to see.
Yeah, it's like a blind spot going forward.
Right. I mean, if you have like, okay, you're just focused on this narrow view, but now you're focused on like a whole wider range.
Yeah, wider section. Yeah.
I mean, it's it is.
For
I
sure.
mean, you have to kind of be active.
You got to be
drive.
alert. You got to be alert
moving
to
your
be
head
driving
around
here.
and stuff. And especially in Toronto, like the drivers are fucking nuts. You know this. You just got your your full license not too long ago, and the driving here. When I come back from Ontario, is like, okay, Ontario B is like by the rules as possible. Here, fucking Mad Max in the Thunderdome.
I have a feeling when I go to Alberta this summer, I'm going to notice a big difference in driving when I get a rental.
Exactly.
It's going to be total like breeze. It'll be nothing.
Yeah.
No people are going to be bugging me.
Yeah.
It's going to be...
Get out of the city and it's like obey every rule and clench your asshole.
Yeah, you got to be on edge here. You got to be
in Toronto NASCAR.
At your steering wheel. You got to make sure nobody's going to hit you.
Yeah, and then
I've
in
avoided
Toronto,
many collisions.
In Toronto, it's like fucking NASCAR.
Yeah,
like it's hard. So, in light of the times we are experiencing, I had a couple things that I wanted to show you regarding the war in Ukraine. Now, did you see this deep fake?
I did not see no deep fake.
Okay, so this is a day and age we're living in, where here I'm gonna show you this, and what we're gonna be watching is. So this is the Zelensky, right?
Yeah, the president of Ukraine.
So this isn't really Zelensky. This is a fake video of him that was created by Russian, where it's patching his face.
But this is what's known as a deep fake video.
That is a fake face of him, and they put it out of him surrendering to Russia. So that is a day and age we're living in, where people can fake surrendering videos during a time of war. And the way it is, like, if he was moving around a lot, you would not be able to tell it was him, but he was just standing idle in front of a microphone saying, this is Zelensky, we are surrendering to the Russian forces.
He probably he doesn't feel protected. So
that is something that we are that is like just weird. Like how are we in this sort of world where this sort of stuff,
like voiceovers,
is happening.
How are they voicing over?
This is like some fucking James Bond shit. Like, so we are. What I want to show you.
Okay.
Is we're going to right now experience what it is like to be hit by a nuclear bomb. So ready?
Yep. I see the ocean. Oh, he's on like in Hawaii. Hawaii. Oh wow. Okay, waiting on the shockwave. Wow, that is a big mushroom. There's the shockwave. Wow, you heard that?
Look at that.
That is unreal. Wow.
I would have ran to the water when the countdown started. I mean, that's probably your only hope at that point. Is it? Maybe that would work. I don't know. Probably not. Holy, look at that mushroom.
That's insane, man. That's a nuke for you.
So
dude.
that is the. Hopefully, we don't ever have the real life experience of.
Please, Vladimir.
Of having to live through. Of having to live through that, but that is a simulation of what it would feel like to have gone through
a nuke.
A nuke.
You play Nuke Town? That's what happens. Nuke
Yes,
Town.
this is what happens when you play. There we go. When we play COD and we are on the Nuke Town, then
it's at the end of every round.
At the end of it, you get. But that was not as real as like this is.
This is real life, yes. If it would be much worse in real life, you would be dead.
So hey, if you want to experience it, type in "experiencing a nuke," and you'll get to experience that.
It's interesting.
Hopefully not in real life.
Hopefully not. I think we're on good terms right now.
Who's someone I wouldn't mind Will Smith smacking at this point?
Who?
Is people who fucking who take April Fools too seriously.
Like me.
No, not people who do the fucking try to prank people into thinking that things are not happening when they're happening, or things that are happening are not happening are happening in real life. Mm-hmm. April Fool's people. I mean, I can't really get into that mindset. It's like, okay, you're a shiesty person, and then once every year, people normally people just don't believe you, but then well, should we believe them? Should we not? Like, it's just stupid. Like, it's such a low level thing that people celebrate. Like, mm-hmm. I mean, this is worse than people who the daylight savings people. I think people who actually celebrate April Fools are just like the worst kind of people, and fucking April Fools is the worst kind of day.
And they do convince people these lies.
Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna go over that a little bit. There's a couple very apparent lies. Now I fell for one, and I know you and another friend of ours fell for a different one. So the one that I kind of fell for was I like my NFL football, and that my favorite team is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh yeah.
So our
go Bengals.
Our head quarterback, or our quarterback is Joe Burrow, and they're just like, well, Cincinnati's considering trading for Lamar Jackson, which is a quarterback in the division that it is another quarterback in that division. So I was like, well, man, since he's trying to trade for Lamar Jackson, and then I'm just like, wait, what fucking? It's April fucking 1st. I'm just like, screw these people. I fucking hate you. And I knew it right away, but it's like that 1 second that is just like, oh my god, is this actually happening or not? So the people take advantage of this day to try and peddle some horse shit that, like, and you kind of have to believe it, because it kind of has to be a little believable. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, it's just a day for pathological liars to,
man, I fell for the 4-day work week yesterday.
I was gonna say, it's like, okay, so you and another friend of ours,
more than once,
and another friend of ours fell for the same one, where it's just, they announced that all of Ontario was going to implement a 4-day work week, 10 hours each, so that if you so that you would have 3 days off. And Daniel and my friend are just like, oh, hey, did you hear about the 4-day work week? And I'm just like, bro, that's April Fool's.
I almost wanted to delete Twitter after watching that.
It's you honestly. I'm considering just not opening up my phone on April 1st, because it's such a
good idea.
It's such a stupid thing, because I think like anybody, if I was in charge of things, if after 11:59 p.m. if you posted something that was a deliberate misinformation, you should fucking be arrested.
And if it goes viral, for sure, be
I'm
arrested.
I'm sick of this shit. It should be like April Fool's Day is the closest thing that our civilization has to the purge. where it's just like anything goes. You can fucking tweet any horse shit that you want to, and fucking and fool fucking people. But after that shit, fuck you.
Yeah,
you should be banned from the internet for fucking doing this shit any other day. And honestly, this shit shouldn't exist in the internet era. Do you know the first one of the first instances, like bad instances of April Fools, was a radio host who was reading H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, which is a novel about an alien invasion happening, and he was reading it as if it was real life. And people were just like tripping the fuck out because they didn't know if they thought they were literally being invaded, because you would go to the radio and as a trustworthy source for news, and you would go there for the news of the world and what was happening. And so this radio host was like deliberately misinforming the public about an invasion that was happening when it wasn't happening, and tripping like a lot of people out. So this is stupid. This is not right to do. And honestly, during a day-to-day basis, through every other 353 days of the year, every other 353 days of the year, we have to deal with so much full of shit people, and so many people who are lying about what they are doing on a fucking day-to-day basis, that one day where we don't know if they're fucking if they're being full of shit or not, where normally we know they're being full of shit. Now this guy
But why on April Fools? Why did I believe it? Other people believed it. I don't know if you believe it, but I believed it. And it's
maybe
because they said they included the government in Ontario, only in Ontario. Well, I should have known.
You see a lot of real news happening, and you see a lot of like real news happening in real time, where it's not an April Fool's, and you see or you forget like, hey, it is April Fool's Day, because it's not.
And so people forget.
People who are above the emotional maturity of a 5-year-old typically don't do things on this day. So you don't like immediately suspect that whoever is saying this shit is just completely pulling shit
out of their ass.
They
just want other people to believe their bullshit, and people do, like me.
Exactly.
I mean, they had to tag CP24 into it. And
that was really rough, man, because I know a lot of people that would really benefit from having like a 4-day work week, and then if the company wants you to work an extra day, then they would pay you the overtime for that. So you would work 50 hours, and then if you worked a 50-hour work week, then you would get overtime for it and still have the couple days of weekends off. It's like, that's an 8-hour work day is almost like like I'm working anyways. I might as well work as many hours as I possibly can. So yeah, I knew, like, I'm so. That was the thing that pissed me off about like me believing the Cincinnati Bengals trade, or thinking about, like, it was just 1 millisecond. That was it, but it was enough to just. I don't want to fucking picture Lamar Jackson as my fucking head quarterback because I'm a Joe Burrow guy, man. I love Joe Burrow, man. He is my fucking quarterback, bro. And to see and to just even put that image in my mind and think it's okay to do it because it's April 1st. Fuck you. We got better things to do with this civilization, with this planet, than fucking have a prank day. You ever watch YouTube? You ever watch fucking Twitter? All people do, prank, fool people, try and pull shit over people. We don't need this. We don't need this anymore. Enough of this fucking shit. April Fool's Day is something fucking emotional infants fucking celebrate. And fucking, it's just stupid, and we should do away with it, and people should be sent into solitary confinement at best.
I'm not going to take anything seriously anymore on April Fools.
Don't touch your phone. No, don't pick up your phone.
Just don't do it.
Do
Turn
not
it off.
open social media. Exactly.
Don't open your Facebook, your Twitter, your Reddit, your whatever the hell social media you're listening to.
Exactly. Don't. It's not worth it.
No,
it's not.
Something's a lie. Something on there's a lie.
So, well, let's move on. We have a. So you ever? This is just a real quick digression, real quick thing, but. You ever see those memes where they're in the grocery store and you're in the diaper aisle and then no, you're in the beer aisle and you see a pack of diapers there, like the guy gave up the diapers and bought the beer. So,
no, I haven't, but I can understand where that meme's coming from.
So I had it was like, then they say decisions were made here. So
he took the beer.
So he's like, okay, I'll get the diapers later. He's got a couple he can fucking skate off of. I really need the beer right now, and I have only this amount of money. I can either buy a pack of beer or a pack of diapers. Mm-hmm. All right, so
he took the beer. I mean, what man wouldn't?
So it
depends if he was with his wife.
If you're out of beer. And your kid has 3 diapers left. I mean,
why not?
You're out of beer. That kid's gonna survive off the 3 diapers. You just have to make sure you buy the diapers when you're either drunk or hungover. So I had I wanted to bring this up because yesterday at the grocery store, I had a reverse decisions were made here. I had a reverse decisions were made here decision at the grocery store.
Okay.
So I was going and the last lane before you get into checkouts was the ice cream aisle, and so I passed by this thing, and then I was kind of going like maybe I'll buy something, maybe I don't, and then so I seen inside of like this wall of fucking ice cream bars and ice cream and shit, and I seen something that was left over from somebody who decided not to buy this and bought the ice cream instead. So it was like these little like feta cheese like croissant rolls where they had like feta cheese stuffed inside of it with spinach, like
sounds good.
Kind of healthy focaccia like and feta cheese snacks, and so. There's like ice cream.
Who wouldn't give up that ice cream?
And then
the ice cream is good. You gotta give up the feta for the ice cream.
And then the focaccia croissant rolls were just here, and I'm like, you know what? I'm almost on my way. I was like, I should have kind of picked these up later, but I didn't end up getting. I'm gonna get this. So I took the thing that the decisions were made here. Left behind. Like I was like, I at the last minute took the diapers from the beer aisle, right? Where I was just like, oh, this is the last thing. So I just kind of thought that was interesting. I was like, you don't get into where it is rare to get into a situation where you pick up the thing that was discarded by the person who. Wanted to get
it's like wanting something, but then you see something better, and you're like, I'll put this one here and take this one. It looks better.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And so I decided to take the thing that they that they didn't want. Mm-hmm. I took the good thing instead of the impulse item that would directly benefit.
Well, you did the smart choice.
Yeah, and I was just not in so much of a. When I grocery shop, I go and get my groceries, and then when I go buy my beer, I go to the beer store and buy my beer. Yeah. So that's just kind of how it is, and
sure.
And that's how I did. But it was one of those things where it was interesting where I bought the thing that the people did not usually want.
No, and I agree too. I would probably go with the better choice anyways.
Yeah, you would go with the focaccia rolls instead of the ice cream?
Yeah, because I don't really like ice cream that much.
It's probably the same price.
My girlfriend's going to kill me for saying that, though.
You know what the government's going to kill me for saying is that when there's a crisis going on right now, and the crisis is that I cannot buy good potato chips. So they have this thing like where the Canadian retailers, the grocery retailers are they're not selling Frito-Lay because Frito-Lay wants to jack up the prices. So all the major Canadian retailers are pulling Frito-Lay off the store.
Just in particular, though?
Yes.
Wow.
So you go through the of all the major Canadian grocery stores, and all you see is these PC fucking chips and these like fucking no-name chips, and I'm just the type of person where when I want to mow down on chips, but I want to get some Cool Ranch shit going on. I want to get some fucking like
sweet chili heat or something.
Yeah.
You want the good stuff.
Exactly. Like I mean, there's some things you're willing to sacrifice on, and some things if you want to charge me $7 for a bag of chips, I don't care. Just give me fucking what I want.
You got $7.
No, but I mean they're charging them the reason that the Canadian grocers are not going with Frito-Lay is because Frito-Lay wants to charge more. It's like, I'll pay fucking $7 for some good chips.
What's so good about them? Why do they got to charge more for the chips?
No, they don't charge more for the PC. They don't charge more for the PC.
No, for Frito-Lays, they're charging more. Why? Because it's not knockoff?
Who knows why they charge them? Because inflation, because this, because that, because they can. But so the grocers are refusing to sell it. The Canadian grocers are refusing to sell it because of their overcharge. But I mean,
it's probably healthy then. They think it's healthy.
I'm the type of person. No, well, there's no potato chips that's healthy.
No,
it's a
what
fucking.
They do with vegetables.
It's a potato chip.
They charge extra now because healthy food is
it's
more expensive than cheap food.
It's a potato chip. It's not meant to be. Yeah. It's not meant to be healthy. So I order one, when I get a bag of chips, I get it because it tastes good, and so now I have to buy the shit that doesn't taste good, and or either that, or I gotta go to a different grocery store for the one that's actually selling it. It's kind of fucking grinding my gears a little bit right now.
Shit show, yeah.
You should be able. Why? Either way, the government is getting tax dollars off of it. So what the fuck is the point? What is the point of not allowing
sodium levels, calories, sugars?
It's all the same shit.
Yeah,
it's all the same shit. So what is the point of not allowing me to buy one chip over the other?
Just because you like one brand and not the other.
Because exactly that is why they're doing it. Because they're trying to virtue signal that they're better than this brand because they want to. Because they want to promote the PC shit because the PC shit is Canadian, and that's and if you buy Canadian, that's good for the Canadian government, and the Canadian government makes their taxes. But I don't care. I would just like when I want a snack, I want a fucking good tasting chip. I don't want any of this.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's not to knock PC. PC does have some good shit. Like I had one of theirs like Nashville barbecue, spicy Nashville barbecue chips. It was really good.
Barbecue.
But I mean, just give me that decision. I would have rather had the dynamite chili lime Doritos.
Oh, you're a spicy guy.
I like it spicy.
Yeah, man.
But I mean you've got to give that choice to consumers. That's not something that you should be. That's not a decision that you should make for the consumers. That's something that you should allow the consumers to make the choice.
Well, that's why they have 2 for $7 deals. the chips will be $7, but some days they'll be 2 for $7, so you can buy twice as much for that price.
Yeah. So it's just give people the freedom to do what they want. I mean, that shouldn't be an issue. You don't got to pull the shit from the grocery store because you philosophically disagree with them. It doesn't mean everybody should philosophically disagree with them.
Yeah.
So there's other things. Another thing we could talk about when comes to the fast foods and stuff is so now I'm noticing a trend where some fast food companies are going a little too eco-friendly. Where they're...
Well, they've started with that plant burger.
Yes, the plant meat, which isn't actual meat.
I don't know what it is.
Which who knows what the hell it is, but there's that, and there's also the like eco-friendly packaging.
Okay, now, like the straws.
Normally I don't like bringing up like particular names, but this company's big enough where we can bring up their name and it wouldn't be such a deal. So A&W, I was really not a fan of they've gone a little too eco-friendly. So now at A&W, I like their burgers, I like their onion rings, I like a lot of things they do.
I just had their teen burger too.
They give, exactly. They give you good quality products.
Yeah.
But what I'm not really liking from them right now.
What's that?
Is the packaging and the straws and the like. It's biodegradable straws, but. Like one time, like I live you know how close I live away from the A&W, not that far away from the A&W. So I was walking home and like my bag almost like fucking almost like was deteriorated from like just a light rain being outside.
Oh my gosh! Because that water.
Because it's eco-friendly packaging, and the straw, like the fucking straw is like falling apart while I'm drinking it. Like I'm drinking like parts of the goddamn straw while I'm drinking the drink. Like the drink is literally fucking deteriorating the straw.
Yeah, that happened to me too at McDonald's. Not saying any franchises here. I love McDonald's.
No, McDonald's is a big franchise. Yes. They can handle it. But I mean, like, you know, we're supposed to be doing this shit that's better for the environment. But I would rather bring my own shit to the store.
That's why they're doing this, so you're gonna start sucking on the straw and it's gonna evaporate. But they want you to bring your own plastic straw or your metal straw.
They don't have me bring it. They don't say this is cool.
Not yet.
But I was like, I mean, I would rather do that than fucking like eat pieces of or drink pieces of goddamn straw in my fucking root beer. Like, I mean, like, you know, that's trying to go too eco-friendly at the expense of the product.
I do have one of those eco-friendly straws, metal ones. I don't use it.
That's the Starbucks one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Starbucks, if I were, you know, I would do that. I would bring my own shit there because they have it set up that way. But if you don't have reusable packaging available to the customer, then you shouldn't force us to have this shitty shit because, like, for me to have to eat my packaging because fucking, like...
It's better for the environment?
Because it's better for the environment. That's a stupid fucking advancement. Keep the goddamn plastic and, like, get some scientists on this shit figuring this shit out. Like, it's, I mean, like, you know, it's not that hard. And, by the way... What types of dumb animals are fucking, like, you know, getting these fucking straws jammed up their nose anyways?
Yeah.
Like
goes for the beer thingies that holds the beer together. That get stuck
like you see the turtle with the fucking straw in his nose. Like, what was he trying to do? Some sea cocaine? Like, fucking... like, fucking, like, you know, what is, you know, that I feel like maybe that was like a Darwin award-winning turtle right there. Not necessarily, you know, the fittest of the turtles.
I Yeah, I
that
do
was
believe
playing to
that.
survive.
I do believe that, though.
So, I mean, there's where you're going a little too eco-friendly at the expense of the consumer.
Eventually, people are going to bring their own stuff. Straws, forks, knives, all that stuff.
It's kind of annoying.
Yeah,
it's kind of annoying.
Agree.
If you cannot do it in a way where, like, if you cannot do it in a way where I don't have to eat the packaging, then fine. But if you can't, then I mean, suck it up. Either find a way for people to do the reusable shit like Starbucks, where they have where you can bring in your own reusable
But like,
cups.
what were they thinking? Liquid and paper. You know, liquid and paper are gonna fall apart.
Yeah,
and I know what you're talking about,
like,
and I know these viewers are gonna know what we're talking about when we say that these straws are getting softer as we drink them.
Yeah. And it's not good. You don't like tasting. You don't like tasting pieces of paper inside of your fucking root beer. Like, am I wrong?
When
am
did
I really
they start doing this? Like, they have been complaining about it.
I'm complaining about it right now, but I don't.
I was complaining about it when I found out. Too.
Well,
Same thing happened to me.
There are a couple good things that that A&W's done, like have like the grass-fed livestock, like where they're
raised without antibiotics and hormones.
So I mean, that's a good thing. That's benefiting the consumer. That's a consumer's helping the fucking. You don't gotta go full fucking eco guy because you go full eco, then you end up with shit like fucking that, and you end up tasting your own fucking bag when you're fucking eating a burger. So that's not good.
I see where you're coming from, though. Yeah, I agree with you.
So we're kind of winding down to the end of the podcast. One last thing I wanted to bring up is a show I've watched, which I think is really great. Which I don't know if you've watched it before, but have you ever seen What We Do in the Shadows?
No. Okay. Sounds like a scary movie.
It does, but it's kind of like a vampire satire. It's like, so they have vampires and they kind of like make fun of like these vampire tropes and like these like the garlic, like, so they kind of have vampires in real life, but it's like it's funny. It's like they're humorous about it, where it's not like they're super, like, they had so much of super serious vampire movies like Blade and Twilight and all that and all the shit, where it's like the super serious. This is just kind of making fun of vampire culture and vampire movies and the stereotypes that are involved in them. I think it's I don't know what it's on. They're on their third season right now. And myself, I do not like much TV. I do not I do not watch much TV. But this was one of the few things where like I watched and I like laughed my ass off. The actors in it are really incredible.
Really? Maybe I'll take a look at that.
As a person who's like, after a few of these like duds of like vampire movies where I'm just like, okay, I'm done with the vampire genre. I want nothing to do with it. But this is one where I'm just like, okay, now this can work.
No, that's gonna work with me,
yeah. So, just one thing I wanted to bring a shout out to. It's very rare that I find a
vampire movie,
a TV show, and even a TV show in general, where I feel like is worth actually paying attention to.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows that I do find that's not worth paying attention to because they're just directed horribly, horrible actors, horrible lines,
or it's just generic. It's just there. It feels like, I feel like if like a movie, I really need to be compelled by it. Me too.
It needs to like bring my attention to it within 10 minutes.
Yes.
If I'm not gonna like be attached to it within 10 minutes, I don't know if it's worth watching.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like some Quentin Tarantino shit where the dialogue's like really good and you're really involved in it. Like, it seems kind of like, well, So that's the same way I listen to music too, where I like avant-garde stuff, and this stuff avant-garde just to me means like it's ahead of its time, where it's like it's really well done. It doesn't seem like something that was just produced because it was easy to make and they can make it. It's like really feels like they tried to push the envelope, and they tried to make a really good product and try and put their best effort into it. Yeah. That's the type of shit I like. I like to listen to. I don't like to listen to something that's like, okay, it feels like a piece of toilet paper. You just fucking flush it after you're done listening to it, and then it could be literally.
And if you don't flush your toilet paper, you're a psychopath. Do not put your toilet paper in the garbage.
And it could be anything else. It could be like, it could be any other thing, and it's still kind of similar. I like think oh, hey, that's different. That's new. That's on another level.
We like new things. People are attracted to new things.
Or just something, or well, not necessarily new, but like that the way they're doing it is different from everybody else.
Well, if you're a majority of the people that like old stuff, you'll remain using old stuff, but the new people.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I tend to find like good new music is better than good old music, and people think I'm crazy, but I I think like with the amount of like as technology advances, you should be able to create better music, because the more sounds that are available to you, the more effects on your effects pedal, the more manipulation you can. So music should always sound better, but
not rap. Rap is always the same.
But there's very few people that can really turn it up to another level. I think rap is kind of caught in a thing where like instruments are what give music life.
It's brainwashing.
And life and rap is just like the same beat on a loop for like loop. And like with when you're able to you're not able to like the singer is not able to be as soulful if it's just like a beat on a loop that just fucking keeps going. Now, if you're a singer and you see someone like playing the fuck out of a guitar,
that's exactly what I was gonna mention. Alternate rock, and country, they're all different.
Then you just want to wail into the goddamn microphone, right? Exactly. So hip-hop is in this weird phase.
Yeah, it's not really the
where
same anymore.
Where hip-hop is cool. Hip-hop
it used to be different back in Tupac and Biggie days.
Yeah, where you could actually be you actually had to be good to be
not just like the nobody wants to hear that anymore.
So I mean, it's like
it's brainwashing.
Hip-hop hip-hop is in a weird phase right now where I think it would help if they added more instruments to it. But hip-hop is weird because it's the cool thing, but you have to be more wordy with hip hop. So you can't be dumb and like write hip hop, because it requires a lot of like words and a lot of phrasing and a lot of and so you like say if I compared like a hip hop song to a rock song, I mean you would need to say more words. You're probably saying like 5 times to 10 times more words than you're saying in a rock song, and that's part of like the mystique of like rock, where whoever is singing it means something different to whoever is hearing it, because the nature of like metaphor and like and how the message is delivered, it can mean different things to different people. Now, so with hip hop, it's like it can't mean anything else. It's very just whatever they're saying is what they're saying. It's not so much. That's why so much hip hop is stuck inside of ego and like and just these are the bitches I'm fucking. This is the guns that I'm.
These are the chains I got.
These are the clubs I'm going to, because you're just describing what your real life is, and your real life is not all that interesting. It's just a bunch of you consuming high material products and doing things that, like, how can
not everybody can do.
How can people relate to that? Why do people, what I want to ask you is how people can listen to this and like, oh yeah, I can relate to that, but you can't.
Because they don't have that kind of money or wealth or fame or whatever the hell they call it.
Hip hop's in kind of a weird phase where like it's kind of it's its own genre, but it hasn't been as like, so there's a few artists I listen to which are psychedelic, which I feel like psychedelic music has been around since the 60s and it hasn't gone. It's like almost like a staple of rock where it's like where it's like you listen to music to like feel something, or you listen to music to like think about stuff, like, and that's why psychedelics have not gone away either, is because it's a staple to music. Now hip hop, I felt like maybe needs to have a transition into being more instruments, or having more instruments involved in it, instead of just, I think it's just too easy to create just a generic beat and rap over it. But
all it is.
Where the rock music got it wrong. Is that the people who are doing the instruments got too full of themselves. The reason you listen to music is for the lead singer. That's it. Yeah. I mean, there can be a great guitarist, there can be a great drummer.
There are songs where I don't like to listen to the lyrics. I just listen to the music.
There are songs I listen to without lyrics, rock music, but it's just where I think that it's getting to the point where we need to have some sort of like, the one thing I respect, and we'll wrap on this, the one thing I respect on the Academy Awards is that the Oscars, which Chris Rock got slapped at, is I think that the Academy Awards has more of a dedication to quality than the Grammys. Like the Grammys just care if you sell a lot of
singles and records.
Whereas I think like the Oscars, they want to see more of a quality film, or and they don't care if it isn't
personality and in the actor,
or if they don't even care if it's high selling or not. Like if it's a great movie, they will say, hey, this is like like that's the one thing that I think like it was a bad thing for Will Smith to do. You could do that at a lot of places, but the Academy, how they come about their ranking of what they think is good and what they don't think is good is a lot more respectable than a lot of other places.
Yeah.
A lot of other award shows.
For sure.
So we'll put a pin on it. Daniel, it was a fucking slice to have you.
Oh, fuck yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
Again,
great.
You're welcome on whenever. So it was great. We'll do it again sometime.
More often, man.
All right.
Great. All of us.
Was the World According to Kyle podcast.
And Daniel.
I hope you had a good time, everybody. Take care.
Bye.